Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my reviews for Death of Spider-Man number 160. This is the big climactic issue, and Avengers versus the new Ultimates number 5. I'll do this one first. I was very, very pleased with the direction of this book. As you can imagine, um, this will be, I guess you could say this is going to be a spoiler, but I mean, I don't think it's that big of a spoiler, but Nick Fury is still alive, and what they did was they did a flashback as to the events that led up to this issue, or these, the events that are taking place here. And basically, what they did was Nick Fury went on a rampage, I guess you can say, with the guy who was making the Hulk pills, and they took him out, and then basically we go back to the present, where Stark thinks he won, but in reality what happens is Nick Fury and his, like you have the Punisher and all those guys, Hawkeye, and they're all steroided up from the Hulk pills. Now basically, if you remember from last issue, what Stark wanted to do was he basically wanted to insert his people, and his people, and what I mean by that are people who have been genetically enhanced with, the superpowers. And then he was going to go to different countries and start coups, and then eventually he would have been able to take over those types of places, like North Korea, or basically the troubled spots. And in this issue, that's basically happens is they supply a bunch of people with the powers, and they go on a rampage. That's not Spider-Man, by the way. But I thought that it was actually really interesting because what it did was it put the Captain America and those guys in a dilemma. What do you do? Basically, what you have is you have a foreign country, and keep in mind they didn't know what all of his Stark's plans were. But imagine this: you have a foreign country, the dictatorship is being overthrown by superheroes. But by superheroes, I mean obviously the genetically enhanced beings, and they're causing a rampage. Do you fly in, then stop the rebellion and restore the dictatorship, or do you overthrow the dictator and let the rebels win? It's like, and I mean, I know what a lot of people would say, but is that the right decision in the eyes of the world? Like what are the political ramifications where if you had, let's say, the Avengers just drop down and stir up the trouble, that there's consequences. So Steve doesn't know what to do until he finds out certain things, and then they act on it. I'm really enjoying the direction of this book so far, and I think when this is all said and done, this is probably going to be traded for sure. Now with the Ultimate Spider-Man, this was a great issue. Now there's parts of me that said this was fantastic, and there are other parts where I was like, I wanted more. I really wish this was a double-sized issue. I wanted more of a fight between Peter and the Green Goblin, and I know that unfortunately we didn't get that. But at the same time, I'm thinking too, well, he's hurt, so he's basically critically injured. Would he be able to continually fight? So it's like a weird check and balance. And even with the interaction between Peter, Mary Jane, and Gwen and May Parker, I wanted to see a little bit more of that before Peter goes. But at the other hand, I'm going, no, it's just perfect because sometimes I think the least amount of words you say, the better, and it has a more profound impact, to the reader. Like for an example, if you have Peter gushing out everything to all the characters and tying up every loose end, it doesn't leave you with the same emotion as Peter being able to just say one final phrase and that's it. It's like there's a lot of unresolved things that need to be said still, and you don't get that. And I think that holds a much more emotional impact. And that's what you kind of get in this issue. You just get the tease of what it is, but you don't get the full, final thing, which actually would make sense in a battle such as this. I thought that overall, I thought it was really enjoyable. and I'm really, really looking forward to the next issue. One thing I really did like, I enjoyed, I guess you can say, was like when you look in the crowd, you see all these people with cell phones, like, you know, recording the fight and stuff. And I think it would be interesting to see that footage being released and then seeing how the public reacts to it, because I think, you know, with Peter Parker in Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe, he's gone through a lot of highs and lows, and he was really on a high end until the Chameleons, you know, swapped him. But I think seeing Peter Parker, you know, or I should say Spider-Man unmasked, defending his home, defending his aunt, and fighting to the death, I think that could really hold an interesting impact to, you know, the people of New York and beyond that. And I'm hoping that they take that further, which it sounds like they are, because there's the aftermath issues. But so if you have not bought this, I would definitely highly recommend it. At least get the trade if you know you can't find the single issues, because it's, like I said, this is probably one of the best Spider-Man issues I've ever read, and it's just because of what they've done with the character, the way they brought his death. Even though I thought that the death was kind of like, see, with me, I like deaths to be a little bit more wow, and this wasn't as wow as some of the other ones, like especially in manga. But I thought that it was still, you know, everything just fit nicely, and I enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down, let me know what you think, and I'll have more reviews later.